Hi, today I'm going to talk about the traffic sign recognition systems which will run on the mobile phone, such as the Android smartphone, which will help people, driver, to notice the important traffic sign, like stop sign, which is very important. And if you haven't noticed that, it's very dangerous for. I have tutorial to talk about this topic, and in this website it shows some introduction of why we need to traffic sign recognition systems, and then I will talk about the United States traffic sign. What feature the traffic sign have, and what can we improve and optimize the performance of these systems. And then I will talking about technologies and algorithms, which I use the neural network in here to recognize the features of the traffic sign. In the following, I will talk about what is success and what is fail. And then I talk about what challenges in this project. Finally, there is a conclusion. Okay. For introduction, these systems is helpful for the low vision people. When they're driving, they may feel hard to notice that stop sign, and that's dangerous. And therefore, if someone can remind them to tell them, hey, there is a stop sign, and then this app will install in the mobile phones. You can just put a mobile phone in front of the car, and then open the camera and this app, and the app will continuing to recognize the traffic sign. And when it saw a stop sign, they will remind you by voice, like me, stop. And it also can detect other traffic signs, but for now we just test one traffic sign. If the stop sign can be detected, that means the other traffic sign is also available. For example, the input normally look like that. This is an image with a stop sign, and then like yellow one or red one. And in my mind, the user interface should like this when you open the app, and then you can press the start detect, and then when the app running detecting, and they will point out the stop sign position and remind you by one. Next stage is USA traffic sign. You can see here. As you can see, the stop sign is octagon and with red or yellow, and that means we can use color mapping to separate the red or yellow with other colors that will enhance the performance of these systems and reduce the calculation of system. And we can see there is other traffic signs feature here, and they will tell us the meaning of shape that will useful for the detect the shape of the traffic sign. And the following, we are going to talk about the technology and algorithm. Because this system is running on the Android mobile phone, so the first thing we need to do is to set up environments. The next step is capture image data, because this the image is from the video stream, and we may not capture like in normal way. We have to capture by the OpenCV, which is open library of computer vision. And then we'll talk about what color model we will use, which is HSV. The detail I will introduce later. And HSV color model, which means we can separate the brightness which light with color, that information, and that will help us to overcome the windy situation. That means the line is not that strong, and maybe people will see not that clearly, but for the system that is the same as the sunny day. After we got the image with HSV color models, it will help the system's detective more accuracy. And then is polygonal approximation by DP algorithm. As I said before, because we know the trapezoid shape, so we can use polygonal approximation to detect the orthogons, and then we can just select that interesting area to make the feature recognized. And then is training features by neural network, which is useful algorithm for the computer vision. First of all is set up Android environments. The hardest part is use OpenCV in Android environment, which is not as same as the normal Android app development. The first things we need to download OpenCV library for sure, and then we can get a folder like that in the SDK and draw and those files. Because of for computer vision, we retrieve the images normally faster than the normal app, so we need to use the API of OpenCV that will help me to get a better data type to operate imaging here. So this part is the code of capturing the camera and getting image here, and here's the size, and then just boundary check, and then we can and then once we got the camera, we can retrieve the current frame here. The data type of this variable is the from OpenCV, which is MAT, which is a very useful and convenient data type. Once we get image, we operate the image. All the operation of image will on this data type. And once we get the image data, and we can use the library of OpenCV, which is useful, like the color models, from the RGB to the HSV, like here. And then you can just use that function following the introduction of the OpenCV API. And then once we finished all the operation of image, we can show on the screen by this line, which is convert the matrix to a bitmap object. Color model conversion, and the normal imaging we capture from the camera is RGB, which is blue and green and red, which is most normal color model, and the model is like that. But why we need to change to HSV? Because SHV, the color model is look like that. You can see the brightness here is separate from the other color. So the windy day, the result of HSV is also pretty good, but for the RGB is it's just like nothing, just a circle. And so we need to separate the line. The traditional convert function is take much time for each pixel. And there is a function from Banner function, which is from Intel computer vision library. Shows here you can dramatically reduce the calculation. You just need to use a simple mathematical way rather than the complex way. And here's the code. Just implement that the function above. And then why we need that color model is for the next step, color mapping. What is color mapping? That is because the chart design just several color like red, yellow, blues, and someone else. So we can separate those colors to different imaging by color mapping, like that. We can mapping red to circle and yellow to triangle, right? And the blue with rectangle here. And what we need to do just use the threshold. Once the value is in the threshold, between the threshold, we will set it as 255, which means white, and otherwise we will set the pixels to 0, which means dark, black, and then we can get the color mapping image. And here is the threshold range. The value is from Chinese paper, which tell us that for this range is the best performance recognition systems, and the output is like that. Pre-process. Okay, the following step is pre-process, which is make the picture, image more clear and easy to detect. The first need to do is noise cancelling. As you know, the original image has many noise here. And what we want is we clean all the noise in the perfect situation, but normally it still have some noise, but it doesn't matter. Here I use template to calculate the medians. Here is a template. As you can see, there is a black cell and white cell in this whole square. That means this is the central pixel, and we calculate, we add all the pencil, surround them, and get millions of that many pixels. But it's take much time to calculate all the pixels. So we just need to pick some of them. Like here's the template, which just choose like that, and the other way is just across. And we can try all these template and choose which is the best performance. Here's the output. For those 3 examples, you can see Ellipse kernel is the best kernel for them. And then we turn to capture traffic size by the DP algorithm. How to use DP algorithm? Okay. This algorithm is for polygonal approximation. The first things we need to do is to select 2 farthest points in the image. Like here is A and B, and then we connect the 2 points together as a link, and then we need to find the third point, which is farthest from the link here. If the distance is larger than the threshold, and then we will keep this point, and then we connect these 3 points together, and then we need to find the 4th point. The 4th point is also need to verify if the distance is larger than the threshold. If so, and keep the 4 point, and then connect the 4 point together, and then continuing to do so, until we check all the points in the image, or the point is or the distance less than the threshold, and then we can get the following data. For example, like face, for face image, and there is each pixel here, and there is a meaningless pixel for a face. But after he computes in the next layer, he will represent more specifically feature like eyes, nose, ear, and the next layer is represent the specific face, like my face, and that's neural network. That means we have nodes in each layer, and the next layer means the highest level. In the output layer here, we represent by edge. Is normally the output is a vector. We will talk later. For the neural network, we should have a cost function and gradient. The cost function means okay, let's explain what is cost function and gradient. The entry is hypothesis. We can see a PowerPoint here. For the x or 0, x1, that means different feature. Like here, it is a house price here. The price is y, which is the result, and here the size, the number of bedroom, and the number of floor. That is the different features here. There is a 4 feature. So in the previous picture, we should have 4x, and the hypothesis is depending on this parameter theta, and calculate together, and this is the predict value. The parameter theta is what we need to learn here. Actually, the whole machine learning and the computer vision training result is that one, the theta. And the cost function is here is our prediction minus the real result. That means we can know the what difference between what we predict and the real price here, and then we calculate we add those difference together, and we know it's a cost function. The smaller cost function result means they have a smaller the difference is between the real world. That means the parameter is more accuracy with the real world. That's what we want. And then once we get the theta parameter, and then we can predict the tan in the linear regression. And for the computer vision, we can for the computer vision so for the computer vision and other machine learning, we can get a decision boundary. We can help we decide it which if the image is what we're expecting, like here. If the image is inside the boundary, we can know there is what we want, and if this is outside, so it's not we want. So here cost function is represent the differences here, and all we need to do is we need to use derivative the cost function, and we will get the minimum. We need to continually repeat to adjust the theta, which is parameter of learning, and by this function we just need to keep increasing or decreasing until we find the minimum j of theta. The perfect result is the j of theta is 0. That means we are totally the same as the real world. And then after that, we will get the result here. And for the multi-class, like here we have multi results. We have yellow stop sign and red stop sign. So the minimum classification is 3. The other one is there is no stop sign here. For how to distinguish that the result is which, and we use Richter here. For like here, the one in the first position, that means is the first result, and in the second position, that means second result. We use the one to indicate there it is which result. For the backpropagation algorithm is to calculate the derivative of the cost function. If we use forward propagations, it will take much more time than the backpropagations. For backpropagation, we see here is the cost function of logistic, which we use in the computer vision. In here, the h theta is hypothesis, which is calculated by the sigmoid function, which is here. And so here is the forward propagation. That is to calculate each layers depending on the previous layers. Like here, we use sigmoid function to calculate each node and theta in the first layer, and then we can get the second layer until we got the final layer, which is the fourth layer. After that, we can use backpropagation here. For each of layer, we show here is 4 layers neural network. We can calculate from the 4th layer and use this function. And the 4th layer is also the hypothesis here, and then we can get a derivative adjust function, which here we can see like that. After we continue to do that, we can minimize the cost function, and then we can get the correct the parameter theta, and that's it. After that, we will finish the training the feature here. Here is a small quiz for help you to more understanding the gradients descent. Okay, you can try it, and the answer is following. Here is the success and fail. As I said before, once we detected the traffic sign successfully, and it will print out the stop signs in the screen, and also remind you by voice. For this project, I think the most challenging is to learning the backpropagation algorithm in the neural network, which is a little bit hard to understanding. And the other thing is, the app is running on the mobile phone, which has low performance of CPU. That means we have to optimize the algorithm, make the calculation is less and less. Okay, and here when we training the stop sign feature, we need many image of stop sign sample. They will help the neural network to learn what's the feature. And to get this sample, I think it's a little bit hard because they may need thousands of images. I think that's it. That is the whole tutorial of the traffic sign recognition system. Thank you very much. I feel very interesting for this project, and I will implement these systems by the project 3. Thank you.